Hello and welcome to Lost in Minecraft. Today will be the first part of a new series that we are going to be doing. Right, so it is going to be called 30-Minute Adventures, and I shall get onto that in just a moment. As you can see, I'm in an unusual spot here, but I have a fully kitted out inventory. We have plenty of spare blocks, a boat, maps, a full set of enchanted equipment, some food, and a couple of bundles. Yes, we also have a second diamond pickaxe. This one is a silk touch one. In the first bundle we have some adventuring equipment, cartography tables, item frames, sticks, obsidian, coal, a whole load of bits and pieces. You can see it all on the screen there. In the other bundles, just a few odds and ends that I've picked up along the way. Right, so the whole idea behind this series will be basically 30-minute adventures. We will start off with, there we go, one little beep, there's our timer. So we'll just be playing, watching along for 30 minutes, seeing what we can find, seeing what we can explore around the area. Now, as you could see on the map I was holding earlier, we have moved to a different part of the world. This is south of our first base, so we can access it quite easily using our nether portal. Now, full disclosure here, this is in fact the second of these videos I have filmed. The first one, unfortunately, I forgot to press record on. So I've had 1.5 hour adventure, which has got me to here. As you can see, we found a nice little cove surrounded by cliff faces and such like. Fantastic little village at the bottom there, surrounded by mountains on either side, and you can see over there a nice cherry blossom biome. From the bottom, this plateau here looked quite flat up at the top, so I figured it would be a good way to come. I like to keep to the higher areas. You can see more, spot more cool things, and that's basically what we're looking for. Anything that is fascinating to look at, like over there we've got some big caves and such like. A lot of livestock down at the bottom. That's just the cherry tree biome itself. And we've got a donkey up ahead here. And we'll just carry on. We've got a bed with us as well, so we can set up for a nighttime camp. Deep tunnel down there. Let's keep our eyes on these. Hello, chicken. If whilst watching, if you think you see anything interesting or fascinating and you would like me to take a closer look at it in a future video, just pop it in a comment down below. Right, we've got a pass between a couple of mountains over there. I think we can head that sort of direction. As you can see from the map there, we've headed east from our starting point. The little green marker is in the village. Just helps us find our way about and where we need to get to. It sounds like we've got a few potential bad guys in the area, so I think we'll set ourselves up. Again, come up nice and high. We can get a good viewpoint for when we wake in the morning. Make sure we're not being tracked by anything nasty. Oh, bye rabbit. Oh, we've got one creeper down there already. We have to keep an eye on that when we wake up. Couple of bad guys over there, affected by the sunlight. That rabbit's very keen, isn't he? Down there's a stretch of water. But at the end of the day, this is also just a very nice sort of general look at my style of gameplay. These videos will be pretty much unedited. Finally got him. There's a skeleton lurking in the back over there. What an advantage of having the Power 5 bow. So this is just a basic little wander around video to begin with. I'll find some other interesting areas to look at for these videos. Do a couple in the nether, we'll do some big caves, seeing what we can find, seeing what we can fight. All whilst keeping it to approximately 30 minutes. This one is going to overrun the 30 minutes ever so slightly, but you will see why. I'm just being a little bit cautious about heading out over the snow. These bits seem to be packed snow, which is not too bad, but if you end up on soft snow, you can end up sinking into it. That can suffocate you, cause you freeze damage. Generally rather unpleasant. Got a bit of a cave on the side here, let's have a look-see. A bit unpleasant sounding around here. Yep, we've got zombies. One zombie villager. Just light it up slightly. As we said before, keep it lit, keep it safe. You may notice my levels are now very low, down on level 4. This is just due to the amount of enchanting I had to do to get all my gear sorted out. There's a lot of experience grinding that's gone on behind the scenes through trading, pardon me, various mining exploits. I mean exploits as in adventures and mucking around and doing it, not exploits as in game cheats or game hacks. We'll just work our way up this side of the hill, up towards the cherry trees. And we can have a little look at the cherry biome. As you can see, there's little pink flowers around, and as we get closer to the trees, you'll see pink petals on the floor, petals blowing off the trees and down into the valley. Now, one of the interesting bits about the cherry tree trees, pardon me, is that the wood actually has a very slight pink hue to it. It can be very decorative style wood. It's very nice. One of my favourites. So you can see the leaves blowing down. Get a nice little vantage point from up here. Mountainside through the valley, mountain on the other side. It looks to be maybe another cherry tree biome in the distance there. Let's just harvest ourselves a bit of cherry wood. You see what I mean about the slight pink hue to it? Your planks will have the same pinkish hue. Now what I'd really like would be a cherry tree sapling. So we just have to wait a little while for the leaves to break down and hopefully one will drop. Continue having a little look around here. Using our Silk Touch pickaxe. So instead of getting cobblestone from it, we'll get the regular stone. As you can see there. One fun little bit with the Silk Touch pickaxe is if you go to dig out ores, you will in fact get a stone block with the ore in it. So if you're in a rush, you can just gather it all, take it back to base, lay them all out and do it there if you so choose. Still just waiting around for this cherry tree sapling to drop, hopefully. See here we've got some packed ice. Could be useful in the future to know that. I have mentioned before using packed ice and boats as a transport system. Coal there. When hanging around as high up as this, you will find quite a lot of coal, iron and potentially emeralds. Save you a little bit on the trading front. Fortunately, my last few sessions have been more trading than I'd care to think about. Don't mind taking a bit of a break from it for now. Right, still no drops. Of course, you can use shears, there we go, to harvest the cherry tree leaves. You can take them back to base, use them for decorative functions, chuck them in a composter, whatever, the choice is yours. I just want this sapling. Well, the night is starting to set in again, it looks like. Unfortunately, being on the far side of the mountain like this from where the sun's setting, it's obviously getting dark a little bit sooner. But the game itself will not necessarily class it as being nighttime yet. So we'll just have a bit of a tidy up and reorder. A bite of dinner, nice steak. See the shadow creeping up on the other side of the valley there. As you can see, whilst it looks quite dark to us, the game is still saying nope, not night time yet. There we go. I think we've spent just about as much time as we can here. Everything's pretty much broken down now, and we do have a cherry sapling. Fantastic. I was just about to say we're just going to have to walk off and leave it as is, but as it turns out, we're all good. A little bit of a slip down the hillside there. Have to be very careful when climbing around these. As you can see, it's a fair drop down. Just keep your eyes on where you're going. Got a little beehive over there, or bee nest should I say. Water's coming down the side here. So at least if we ever want to get up there quickly, we'll just swim our way up. And coming down through into quite a nice little pleasant valley here. Quite a lot of nice flowers. Remember, if you need dyes, flowers are a very good way to go. This little field of sunflower style ones there. A very deep pit. Now don't forget though, our height is actually quite far up at the moment. We're actually at height 100. So even though these things look deep, they're actually not as deep as you would think. Because I think our base is around about level 60. Maybe a little bit higher because we are up on a mountainside, or hillside. Even then, somewhere around about this level, as you've had to come quite deep into the cave to find it. I don't quite fancy going for a swim. Don't really have any aquatic enchantments on any of my gear yet. Might have to do myself up a mock scuba gear. So things like respiration to help with breathing underwater. As we have Aqua Infinity, allows us to use our gear underwater with maximum efficiency, and depth strider, deep strider, something like that. Allows us to move quicker in the water, which is nice. And a little cave. Now, one thing that is quite interesting with this area here is that beneath mountain ranges, you can in fact have what's called ancient cities. I've not really found an ancient city in-game proper before, so finding one would be quite interesting. I can't quite tell whether that's just the way the stone and the snow is sitting, or whether it's a bit of a construction up here, so we're going to have a little look. And it's just how the snow and stone were sitting. He said snow and sand then, that's not the way we're around. Plenty of livestock around here. It's a good little biome is this one. Looks like on the far side there we've got some spruce trees. That's a big hole. And we have another village by the looks of it. Right down here. A couple of skeletons. And because the first skeleton shot at me and hit his friend, they're now fighting it out between themselves. Nice and easy to deal with. Have a little look down here, seeing as we are here. A thoroughly uninteresting cave, I'm afraid. We'll just work our way back up to daylight. Lit, keep it safe. There's some more bones, some more arrows. Always good to have a good stash of arrows. It looks like a very small village. It's very unusual. Let's work our way rather ungracefully down the hill. Yes, I wasn't expecting that drop there. Just a good reminder to do not rush. Some more cave networks. Let's have a little gander here. Right, it really does look like we have one dude. One dude and his crops. And an iron golem. Kind of feel sorry for them. It's very unusual finding a village this small though. We've got a brewing stand, which I'm not going to pinch. Always good to know that there's one lurking around here. Now going by our half-hour adventures, 30-minute adventures, we only have about 10 minutes left. So let's just see how we get on. Got a bell for rallying the villagers. No villagers to rally. Well, there's a patch of crops down there. Lots of cats. So yeah, it's a nice little village. Just a shame. It's a shame there's only one dude in it. We shall leave him be. And we shall carry on along our way. As we do only have limited time left, as you can see in the map, we've sort of looped around so we're directly south of the village in the bay. So I think we'll start to swing back round. Another big cavern. I'm doing very well at keeping on point in this. I do love exploring big caves and caverns in this game. There's so much cool and dangerous stuff in them. I've got another one. That one seems to go very deep. I'm actually going to give in to one creeper. I'm actually going to give in to the urge and have a little bit of an investigate around this one. That really does go very deep. Considering we're on 77 now. I think that's a crevice that's going places. Whoop. I did not see that drop coming. Ooh. Oh yes, it goes deep. But for now, we need to see about how are we going to get ourselves out of here. Particularly as it could be creepers around any corner now, waiting to explode and blow us off the cliff edge. There could be skeletons taking aim with their bows to knock us off. So what we'll do is we'll come back here. I think we were somewhere around here when we fell. And this is why I have 2 stacks of dirt. Stack and a half of dirt now. So we can just dirt column our way back to safety. Relative safety. need any coal going forward. This will be a good place for it. Quite a few bad guys around here. Not too certain about facing off with all of that. We'll just keep our distance and leg it. Make our way back up to safety. And the moon is rising, so let's get ourselves back to bed again. From the little detour, we really need to get a bit of a move on. Pardon me. This is the sort of direction we want to be heading. To do a caving episode or two, this will be a very good spot to come back to. Again, that's looking to go very deep. There was various caves and cavern entrances in and around the village as well, so we shall see if they're all interconnected. Might be worth starting at the village, so we can't help keep them a bit safe. A very open cavern, very open. I do like that. As you can see, I am pondering it. And you know, little investigation won't hurt. Another horde of zombies. As you can see there, for whatever reason, my sword fighting style seemed to be based on button mash. Gets the job done though. Some more. We've got a skeleton over there. Friendly little Enderman. Let's keep ourselves to ourselves. As you can see, having the Power 5 bow is very useful. You can come very close to one-shotting a lot of the regular enemies. Here we go, here's our first emerald patch of the adventure. We've only got us a couple, but it's better than nothing. There's a bit of a shot coming from the bright outdoors back into here. I think there's some more emeralds I spotted on the side there. Yes, there are. And some more zombies. As you can see, I'm changing through my gear just to try to get the experience to get my durability back in places where I need it. Obviously with your armour it'll happen automatically as long as it is equipped. quite low now, on level 22. There's not a large drop, but there we go. You see that funny, dark, mossy looking stuff on the side wall there? That is interesting. That is a skulk vein. Skulk is a interesting component of the Minecraft world. It means there is a dark cavern nearby. Now you can get whole skulk blocks. And oh, didn't mean to do that. Now we're down to level 4, so we can see how deep these go. Now, that there is our 30 minutes up. Now, I'm not going to just leave us down here in this tunnel. I'm going to get us to safety. It will take us a little bit of extra time, but definitely will be worth it. Yes, I was saying about the skulk. Skulk is like a stone infestation, I guess, like a moss that does grow over the stone, through the stone, and it does have certain properties. You can get different types of skulk, and some of those are sensors and screamers, I believe. It's like an alarm system. So if you get spotted, or if you get heard, should I say, because it's based on sound, if you get heard by the sensor skulk, then it can trigger the screamer skulk, which is like a little alarm system. Which on one hand, yeah, fair enough, but it's what it's an alarm for. There is a mob in this game, sort of a boss mob, called a warden. It is a very big, very tough, very strong, very scary opponent, and I do not ever fancy facing off against one. Now getting down into the darkness there. There are ways of dealing with skulk with the screamers, of the sensors. If we do ever uncover a tunnel, underground section of skulk proper, I will do a video about it and how to deal with it properly and see what happens when things get triggered. Although I will do my absolute most to make sure we don't have to deal with the warden. Not yet. And certainly not solo. I think if we do have to face against one, go with friends. A lot of friends. Well equipped. I'm just going to have a closer look at this skull, because it's not the skull that sort of triggers. Just see what we can do with it. There you go, we can break it. And we can pick up, there you go, skulk vein. Doesn't seem to be, oh, there's a bit more down there as well. Definitely an adventure for another day. So now we're running 3.5 minutes over time. We really need to get ourselves to safety. We're distracted slightly by falling down a big hole. It happens. Alright, that looks like our best way up. That seems to go into the wrong side from where we want. We've got to head up there towards the light. So I think we're just going to have to mine and carve and build our way out of this. Let's climb our way up as best we can. Get knocked down again. Not done very well with creepers this session. Just another little cave section along here. That is not what I'm here for at the moment. Right, one last time. Dirt tower to the rescue. Just got to line ourselves up nicely with the top. It's looking fairly close. Just try to get it a little bit closer if we can. The advantage is if we ever come back this sort of way, we can just dig it all back up again as we go down. Oops. One last tower. And we're nearly there. It is now night time. I could work my way around that differently, a bit more tactically, but at the end of the day I want out of that cave. Yeah, this is just up on the other side of that big entrance. Now we should have there's one bit. Got my map out. I know where I want to be heading. Ooh, that's a lot of coal. I like that. Not for us today. Just want to head straight out, get home as quickly as possible. Now, whilst we're climbing, I would just like to thank you for joining me on this little adventure. I'm hoping to do some more this style of video, just showing what's out there in the world rather than just doing all the builds and things. The builds are great. I really enjoy doing them. I hope you really enjoy seeing them. But the whole idea of this game, it's an exploring game. It's an open world, just out there for adventure. And that's a lot of spruce wood. So yes, thank you for joining me on this little adventure. If you're not already, please subscribe. If you've enjoyed the video, put down a like. If there's anything that you think I've missed, something you prefer me to do, any sort of 30-minute adventure you'd like me to take us on, pop it in the comments. Pop down for bell notifications. As you can see, we're just coming around the side here. You sort of get the feeling that we're just looping around now. This is sort of another part of that initial valley we were looking at. a lot of pumpkins over there. And another mountain for us to get by. So yeah, we're going to be about 10 minutes overrun on this one because I fell down a hole. Speaking of holes, there's another nice big one. Leaving it well alone. Just going to head quickly up this mountain, down the other side. You can see on the map how close we are to the village again. I'll be very careful getting across this snow. Just keep your eyes open for if you can see stone or dirt underneath the snow, that you know that's going to be fair. There we go, sunk into the snow there. See, I've got that sort of frosting around the side of the screen. Our hearts bar is frozen up. Very difficult to get around. Try to get yourself somewhere a bit more sturdy. Recover as needed. So as you can see here, we've got dirt underneath, so we know we're fairly safe to stand on those bits. Just keep running, keep jumping. Oh, sinking again. So what I mean by traversing these snowfields can be a little bit treacherous. Lump of coal there, fantastic. And there is the village. So thank you for joining us. I'm just going to run down to the village and call it quits. So thank you for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you on our next 30-minute adventure. Goodbye.